Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for everybody that views us. Don't forget to catch us every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time on the Friday Fix, and at 1 p.m. Sunday time at our town hall meeting.
Yeah, make sure y'all pull up on this. It's been great conversations. Friday, no politics. Sunday, nothing but politics. Make sure y'all pull up on us on both of those two shows, man.
And Friday, we will be showing a lot of love to local artists in the beginning, playing intro music just to local artists here from this state. Because we like to make sure that the local artists from around here get shine because they're local and they need to be seen.
Yeah, but let's get to it, man. Trump won't rule out deploying U.S. troops to support rebuilding Gaza. Sees long-term U.S. ownership. President Donald Trump on Tuesday suggested that displaced Palestinians in Gaza be permanently resettled outside the war-torn territory and proposed the U.S. take ownership in redeveloping the area into the Riviera of the Middle East.
Peter? Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places on earth. And right now, I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there. So if we can build them through massive amounts of money supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, and it could be Egypt, it could be other countries, and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing, like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die. Because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again. It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back? They've experienced nothing but death and destruction.
Trump's brazen proposal appears certain to roll the next stage of talks, but meant to extend the tumultuous ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and secure the release of remaining hostages held in Gaza. The provocative comments came as talks are ramping up this week with the promise of surging humanitarian aid and reconstruction supplies to help the people of Gaza recover after more than 15 months of devastating conflict. Now Trump wants to push roughly 1.8 million people to leave the land they have called home and claimed it for the U.S. perhaps with American troops. The U.S.
Follow up on what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, you just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent. But more importantly than that is the people that have been absolutely destroyed that live there now can live in peace in a much better situation because they're living in hell. And those people will now be able to live in peace. We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians mostly we're talking about. And I have a feeling that despite them saying no, I have a feeling that the king in Jordan and that the general president, but that the general in Egypt will open their hearts and will give us the kind of land that we need to get this done. And people can live in harmony and in peace. Thank you all very much.
The U.S. will take over Gaza Strip. We will do a job with it, too, Trump said at an evening news conference with Netanyahu by his side. The president, who made his name as a New York real estate developer, added, "We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people." Palestinians mostly, we're talking about. So he's saying they're talking about the Palestinians, but.
Yeah, no, what they're doing, they're going to take the land, build some condos like they planned on it. Just like they said. It's crazy how people said, oh, I think we'll have a better chance with Gaza with Donald Trump. I said, no, you won't. Yeah. He about that money and real estate. And that's exactly what that area is, money and real estate. The Palestinians are going to be kind of lost like people like Louisiana Ninth Warders.
Yep. I mean, this was a perfect opportunity for them to get rid of everybody there. We already knew why they were destroying every single building. There's no reason for you to knock down every single building.
They blew up 100-year-old mosques in there on purpose.
All the schools, all the hospitals. You know what I mean? Just savagely kill the people. Pretty much, I mean, this is something that Netanyahu's already been talking about. He's already been kind of making this as a point. We're not going to leave Gaza. We should take Gaza. We should do the X, Y, Z. It's some great real estate. Who decided to give this piece of land to the Palestinians in the first place? I think he was a part of that deal, to be honest. I think he was a part of that deal initially. But this, to me, man, it tells us who we really are as America. Not all of us, but obviously the people we voted for, we put into office. He's coming in here basically saying that I want to now just displace every person, because that used to be Palestine. That whole entire Israel, where Israel is now, it used to be called Palestine. First, you break them up into two pieces of land. You know what I mean? And now they're also making settlements on the West Bank.
You call them settlers, but they're invaders, and they just keep taking over the land, taking more. But the whole thing, the world's not going to do nothing about it. Just Absolutely. Like, and Donald Trump's like, look, if the world ain't going to do nothing about this because we got they back, he's like, watch what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, we're going to touch on it really quickly, but, I mean, we spoke on it last time. You know, they were just talking about sending American prisoners to El Salvador.
Yeah.
And now they made the deal to do it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So who they going to get rid of first? The black folks, the undesirables. Yep. Then they're going to get rid of all the people aiding and abetting these migrants. You know, Democrat. I mean, they got your information. They know who you voted for.
I mean, it's just, I mean, he's showing that in reality, he wants lands for certain people of this world. That's all it is to it. And you got Jared Kushner, who is his son-in-law. Those guys are all real estate into real estate development, things of that nature. This is what they're getting into more of. He's a former real estate developer. They know exactly what that piece of land is. You got to remember too, there's huge natural gas deposits in off the coast of Gaza as well, in the water right over there. So I mean, you think about it from that perspective, there's a lot of money to be made by taking these people and removing them from their land. They were already under a police state there. They call it an open air prison, which they were walking around in. So I mean, this is a terrible way for this whole entire tragedy to kind of unfold with them taking this land. They're going to do it.
Oh, that was the plan from the get. They said they was going to take it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to put them in Jordan and all these other places where they actually want to take that area too. So they're gonna use this like, oh, well, you're having terrorist activities from leftover Hamas in Egypt and Jordan, so we're gonna have to bomb that too.
Wouldn't you want to go to, he said, Egypt? There's other places like this. I mean, these places aren't like they're the best places for them to go right now.
And Egypt didn't want them in the first place. They left them at the wall. They was like, you ain't coming in here.
I mean, there's just too many people. I mean, how you gonna who's gonna take 1.8 million people and be able to house them? I mean, all they're gonna try and do is give them a little bit of aid to take them, so that then, you know, Netanyahu now they've got the whole entire strip. Netanyahu just stayed quiet and let Trump do all the babbling that he was going to do, but he knows who's going to own that land. Who knows? It's not going to be the U.S. either. It's not going to be us. We're going to help rebuild it. We're going to put the money into rebuilding it.
And we're supposed to send soldiers over there. Mister, I'm not about the war. You already bombed Somalia.
Yep.
You're about to send soldiers to the Middle East to protect Israel.
Again, you know what I mean? So this is not a brand new approach that Americans have taken. And I don't think any of you guys are going to say anything about it, because you guys always talked about, like he said, he's not about war, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, he is. But he's about taking, and he's about war. But
I mean, also to add to that too, you know, you had the Muslim community in Michigan voting and you know, doing things for Trump because they thought he was going to do something for Gaza. You know what I'm saying? Because he told him he was. He is going to do something for him. He's going to get rid of it.
Yep.
And that's what you voted for. And then he's going to get rid of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the huge population of Muslim populations in Michigan did that. And now, I mean, and Michigan flipped. And now look what's about to happen. You guys thought this was a joke. Thought this was a big, we're gonna leave these guys alone. Yeah, they made the mistake of allowing the Gaza Strip to be bombed the way it was. It wasn't a mistake. They did it on purpose. I don't care. Biden, he was complicit in it. Kamala Harris, complicit in it. But at the end of the day, they probably would not have let them take the land. That's what they weren't.
No, remember Joe Biden? They were. I mean, the Arab Emirates or whatever. They were putting up a whole thing, and Biden was with it. He was like, "Hey, they're going to rebuild it and put the people back there." That was the plan. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't understand why Muslims were rooting for Donald Trump. That's how people. I'm tired of these goldfish people living in this country. He banned
Muslim ban.
First
thing he did when he
banned you from coming into America because of your religion.
Yeah, I mean, but
and you're like, and 4 years later, you're like, maybe we give him another chance. He ain't giving you no another chance.
It's over. He's taking property now. It's theirs now.
He'd be like, I'm going to call it Traza.
I'm not laughing because it's not funny, but that was a good one, though.
That was a good one.
I ain't gonna lie about it.
Hopefully he hears me. He'd be like, I like that guy's thinking. Arrest him and bring him over here. Like, damn it. Oh man. I got one here, man. Trump plans to root out top scientists who believe in climate change. More than 1,000 EPA employees, including scientists involved in climate change research and policy, have been put on immediate notice by the Trump administration. Prior to taking office, President Donald Trump promised to bulldoze many environmental policies that he said were wasteful spending of taxpayer dollars and would instead open up protected lands to oil and gas drilling to boost the economy. The New York Times reported that Trump's administration notified more than 1,000 EPA employees that they could be dismissed immediately at any time. Many of those put on notice are scientists and experts who oversee research and enforce policies involved in air pollution, hazardous waste cleanup, and environmental agency response. Members of two highly influential EPA advisory committees tasked with providing scientific guidance to the head of the agency were already ousted in January. In addition, these staffing changes, the Trump administration has started removing or burying any mentions of climate change across the U.S. government website. Now, the 1,000 people that they're going to get rid of, I did a little research on it. They're all new employees. They've been there for maybe a year or less. But, these are the people that they send out to go say, hey, this water, there's lead in this water. Clean it up. Hey, this is causing air pollution that's going to, tear people's lungs. Clean it up. So, I mean, for him, it looks like he's getting rid of anything that can make him look bad.
I mean, you look at it, they're trying to cut regulation as well. This is a big thing they're going to cut a lot of regulation.
They said all of them.
Because when you look at it, I mean, who does regulation, I would say, hinder, but who does it hinder the most?
Corporations.
Business. I mean, who does it help the most? The people. Because, okay, make sure your air is going to stay clean somewhat. Make sure your water is going to stay drinkable. And make sure your buildings don't fall down on top of themselves like that happens in other countries. We see buildings collapse. That doesn't happen here a lot. Make sure planes don't crash in the sky and fall out the sky like we're seeing happen now. So let me just say this really quick. We have to look at it like this, man. A lot of things that he does now, we won't see the effects of them until 10 or 12 years from now. And this is going to be like, it didn't happen. Trump didn't do this. Whoever it is in office is going to basically take the blame for what Trump is doing now.
So I disagree. I think we're going to see the process of this within, I'll give it 13 months.
No, what I'm saying is, say if he cuts regulation and says, okay, you can now build a skyscraper instead of taking 3 years or whatever the case may be, you can do it in a year and a half, and you can cut through these regulations. You don't have to have these certain things all in place. You don't have to get this checked off by this governmental official or X, Y, Z. That building probably won't fall because these buildings aren't falling out at all right now. 40, 50 years later, they're still up. But in 13, 15 years, one of them is going to tip.
The one in Florida with the water leakage.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean.
This is what the one guy said. We should plan for the worst. Michael Mann, a climate scientist at the University of Pennsylvania, told The Guardian. He said the keys to the car have been given to the polluters and the fossil fuel people,
Deniers.
and they intend to drive it off the climate cliff. Like I'm saying, I'll give it about a year, dude. With no regulations, they're going to be going crazy.
Oh yeah,
and we're going to see the effects. All it's going to take is another Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah.
For everyone to realize, what are they doing for the people? Well, you can't sue them anymore.
A lot of times what it boils down to is, say if I'm building a pipeline, that pipeline might not burst for 4 or 5 years. I might make it just good enough so that 5 or 6 years later, nothing will happen. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't going to be like it is now where they're not busting for 50 years. It's not happening. You know what I mean? We're not getting those effects. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like, we're going to catch it. We're going to start seeing little things happen, but it'll be a leakage because you've already had these regulations in place for so long. It's not going to be overnight that now that regulation is gone, that tomorrow something's bad is going to happen. Yeah. It's going to take a while to kind of take place. And so instead of them putting in, some PVC, instead of them putting in steel or whatever, they're going to be putting in PVC and X, Y, Z. So it's going to take us a little bit.
Remember the Supreme Court, they said no one had to, they took away regulations. Remember they took away, and instantly the next month, saying they were poisoning the water in what state was that? Not Arizona, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they was poisoning the water.
I think it was Arizona. It was the Air Force or whatever.
Yeah, they're poisoning the water right then and there.
Said that, since they've passed the law saying that you guys can't really do anything about it, we're not paying for the cleanup of it.
Yeah, we're not going to clean it up.
Yeah,
you're just going to have a lot of sick Americans that aren't going to have health care. So, I mean, hey, good luck to everybody.
And you're gonna blame whoever's in office at the time. You're gonna blame them for the problem that actually occurred under you, the person who you voted for and thought they would get the immigrants out of here. And that was the reason why you wanted to vote for them, because you can act the way you act and talk the way you talk now. And so, but you're gonna be sick as hell, and they don't care because they don't have a healthcare plan for you. Remember that they're gonna try to get rid of your healthcare, trying to tear it down as we speak.
They have an idea.
Yeah,
or concept of a
plan. That's what
it's called. Die in the streets, bitch.
I'm saying pay more money. Let us have your house. I mean, that's what it's basically called. But political uncertainty remains as Trump strikes temporary tariff deal. The impacts of Donald Trump's long praised pledge to use tariffs as a political cudgel started to come in focus Monday, even as the president cut last-minute deals with some of the country's closest allies, allowing him back down from his initial threats. On Saturday, Trump announced that he would slap broad 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, both U.S. allies, and 10% tariffs on China, a political foe. The move is expected, but it still sparked fears about the rising cost of goods across the U.S. economy. That concern, particularly potent because Trump campaigned heavily on lowering costs and easing inflation. If they are fully implemented, Trump's tariff proposal would affect the American household's purchasing power by $1,000 to $1,200 annually, according to the budget lab at Yale University. The first domino to fall came early Monday when Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum announced a deal had been reached to delay tariffs on her country by 1 month in return for Mexico's agreeing to beef up its presence at the border with the United States with 10,000 members of its National Guard. It was an effort to placate the Trump administration, which at times has been inconsistent with its messaging about the rationale for tariffs, but has consistently said curbing the flow of drug trafficking into the United States is a main focus. Trump officials quickly took a victory lap after the announcement, even as several steps to avoid a potential heated trade war remain. So for literally 3 days, I heard the fear from the left of this country say that these tariffs will make America's life worse. J.D. Vance said at an event in Ohio in response to questions from NBC News. And what actually happened in the Mexico government was so afraid of the tariffs that they actually are taking their border enforcement and their anti-cartel activity more seriously. And so pretty much he did the same exact kind of a deal with Canada as well, where he just placed people asked them to place troops at the border to stem the flow of fentanyl. And he also guaranteed that he would try to stem the flow of illegal guns going into Mexico. I mean, when I look at this, man, this is not a victory at all. This is not a victory of any sorts. This is really you understanding that 70% of our fruits and vegetables come from Mexico.
And 70% of our gas and natural gas and oil come from Mexico and Canada. Absolutely. See, the whole thing is Canada's like, hey, you want to play games? Hey, we're going to take all your alcohol off the shelf. We're not going to sell American products. They have a trail where you used to be able to walk through it to get to Canada. They cut it off. They said, now you got to go through the proper channels. Canada ain't got to play no games with us. They don't. And Mexico's like, oh, you want to play some games? Hey, we'll make your bell peppers $10 a pound.
What about? I mean, you got to look avocados too. There's just so much that we could not have won that war. I mean, we would have won it overall. Don't get me wrong. America has a much stronger economy, but the American citizen, grocery prices, fuel prices. I mean, the whole Northeast basically being out of power. What do we think would have happened?
Well, I mean, think about it. He went to China also, right? China's like from lip balm to sneakers to clothes. Man, everything that you buy at Walmart comes from China. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Make America great hats come from China.
Target, everywhere we buy cheaper goods, they come from places like China
and Taiwan
or Mexico. You know what I mean? They make a lot of our cheaper goods now.
People are
too.
Like, they should make it American. I'm like, bro, you can't afford for them to make things American.
And they act like they don't understand that. It's crazy to me that a person doesn't understand that if you want, we need livable wages. Which one do you want?
Well,
you want cheaper goods or livable wages.
Well,
you can't have both.
Most of the people that I see that complain and like that say a lot of that stuff, they're retired anyways. It's a lot of retirees got something to say, about, hey, well, they should be doing this. They should be doing that. I'm like, you don't even have to come around us. You sit at home all day and don't do, for the moment you get to sit at home because that ain't going to happen last long for you.
Yeah, they're going to raise that retirement age too because they need you to get that last few years of work out.
They said what they're doing right now to the retirement system. They said Social Security is going to be drained in 6 years.
Look what Medicaid. Look, was it the Medicaid that whole entire system went down. That was part of the freeze.
It's still down in some states. Still down.
They act like they don't understand that. You think that just went down on that day for no reason? That was an accident. That was an accidental thing that went down that day when he froze all the government programs. When he's talking about food stamps, Medicaid, he don't care about y'all. He don't at all. You're of no use to him if you cannot produce. If you can't produce in this country, you're of no use anymore. Now you're just a drain on the economy. How do I get rid of you? What do you think COVID was about? I would say that for Canada. For China. What do you think that was about? It directly affected people of 70 plus years age. They're like, man, we got all these old people on the payroll we got to take care of. Let's go ahead and implement something that's not going to kill people who are younger. Let's go ahead and knock y'all out the way because then I don't have to pay you anymore for all the stuff, all the entitlement programs that I have for you.
Yeah.
Y'all better start acting like you understand and think. What have they done in this country consistently? Worked you from the time you're 18 to 65. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as you can retire for a few years, you get sick because they're giving you this bullshit food, had you drinking all this bullshit water, and then you get sick. You got to go to the hospital. You ain't got good health insurance. So what you got to do? Sell your house. Because now if you want to live for a few more years, sell your house. You got to beat this cancer.
And now you're going to go work. Now you're going to go live in an assisted living facility that takes 70% of your check.
Period.
Off tops. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of your check, Musk now has access to federal payment systems. What does that mean? With Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency gaining control of the Treasury Department payment system, consumer advocates and Democratic lawmakers are raising alarms about the group's access to the federal government's financial spigot, as well as sensitive data such as Social Security numbers of most taxpayers. DOGE, a Trump administration task force assigned to find ways to reduce federal spending, now has access to a Treasury unit called the Bureau of Fiscal Services, which distributes trillions in payments each year, including Social Security checks, federal salaries, according to Associated Press. Musk's access to the payment system is raising concerns as it comes just days after the White House ordered a broad freeze on federal grants and loans, causing confusion with federal assistance programs at nonprofits and among Americans receiving government aid. The same day, state Medicaid programs said they were locked out of the Department of Health and Human Service systems to track and distribute money. While the White House later rescinded the memo and a judge halted the freeze, DOGE control of the Treasury payment system raises questions about the Trump administration's ability to halt the flow of federal funds for programs including Medicare and Social Security. It's also causing concerns about DOGE's access to the personal and financial information of most taxpayers. Folks, you've been duped. Now they have control of the money. They're not just going to stop at red states and blue states, because even if they do blue states, some of you still live there.
A lot of you still live there.
They have. You should have clenched your pearls when you had your chance. It's crazy. My mom came in and she's like, yo, they just canceled out my Social Security. I'm like, well, they're about to.
People act like they don't understand what's going on here. He just made a deal with Visa, and X made a deal that now they're making a new payment system. What do you think he wants your information for? There's reasons why he wants to understand where the money is going. He has a broad plan.
Y'all let an illegal immigrant come up in here and fuck y'all shop up.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't just y'all shop. It's all of our shop. This dude don't care about nobody. We should have brought up the South African thing. We'll bring it up later. I'll actually do a segment on that on tomorrow's show. But the fact of the matter is, man, he only wants to bring in South Africans. He's talking about we need to bring in South African whites into this country because they bring value, wherever they go. They're always economically sound. XYZ.
Well, that's the whole thing they're doing right now. The GEI, they want to get rid of everybody but white males. But with this is crazy because now they can just freeze all the money.
Yep.
Think about it. I've already seen parents complaining that they can't get their kids into Head Start.
They're like this. Oh, you guys tripping? Freeze their money in California. He has to. This dude got so much control. No one elected him to be president, but we did. You all elected him to be president when he bought your vote. He bought your vote. You all laughed and yucked it up. I watched y'all still advocating for him when he called y'all dummies.
You know, it's funny. You know, it's crazy. These people, the people that are sitting here like, oh, it's not going to affect me. Good. They should be doing it. No. Okay, cool. It may not affect you. Right. But once you leave your house and you go somewhere and you realize you can't shop at the place because it's closed, because nobody's coming in to bring in the food. Nobody can work there. That old lady that she used to talk to at the counter, she just died 2 weeks ago because she couldn't afford her insulin. Then you'll understand what you've done to the people around you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of people out here that just sit at home and don't talk to nobody, and they're evil as fuck. But I'm saying it may not affect you, but everyone around you, even if you're related to them or you're not, they're all fucked.
It's going to affect you. It's going to affect everybody. I'm listening to a trucker say, he's like, man, I normally go and run this route. And normally it's about 24 pallets every time I'm here. Maybe there's one or two less or whatever, but I run this route. It's a fruit and vegetable route out in California. He said it's been consistent. They've never canceled on me. They might be like a few pallets less than what there normally is, but this time there was only supposed to be 13 pallets. And I get there and they canceled it on me. They said they don't even have enough. Their workers haven't been showing up. You think that's not going to affect you? You got to eat. Everyone eats. Doesn't matter what you eat. Something fresh is probably been put in there somewhere down the line. It's going to affect us all. Period. Plain and simple. There's no one can hide from this. Look at what was going on with the egg prices.
Yep, the eggs are expensive, and that's mostly from the bird flu. That's what's going around because most people don't understand. And they'll be like, oh, we mean the bird flu. Well, this is what happens. If you have 100,000 chickens in your farm and you have them spaced out between two separate pens, so there's 50,000 in this one, 50,000 in this one. One bird gets the bird flu in one of those pens, you got to kill all the birds. Every last one of them, because they're all going to get sick. And if you get sick from the bird flu, you will die. The man in Louisiana already died. So you have to understand that's why the price of eggs is so high. But now since they got rid of so many government agencies that actually can look into these sicknesses, it's just going to get worse. They just found hundreds of ducks dead in Michigan from the bird flu. It's spreading to other species of animals. Cows,
cats,
goats,
cats. Remember you were talking about
cats, dogs are getting it.
And not even saying like cats. We're talking about like lions, big, you know what I'm saying? Like snow leopard, shit like that.
Yeah, no, house cats. Mice,
people.
It's going into, and think about it, they're getting rid of all these government agencies that keep you safe. See, usually it's easy to watch a new administration come in because even when Trump came in last time, he didn't change all this much stuff. It's just, they try to add things to make your life better. You know what I'm saying? They try to give you the tax cuts and it fucks you over in the long run anyways. Now they're just taking things away and there's nothing that's going to replace them. And some of you guys don't get that. You know what I'm saying? They're taking your normality away in America. You're going to have a new normal and you're not going to like it. You better show up to work every day. I saw a lady today. She was sick at work, having to work. Old lady. She's like, I already missed too many days. I can't miss it because she'll be homeless.
Man, you got to look at it like this. At the end of the day, man, we're going to have to fight back to get to where we were just a few years ago.
No, we're never going to go back.
Claw our way back. I mean, imagine that. Imagine when all these agencies are gone. When all these things are gone. These safeguards are no longer in place. Do you think the corporations are going to want to let us just have them right back? No, they got more control over your politicians than we do.
Yep, Luigi was right.
They're going to have to fight tooth and nail to try and get little rights back. Oh, we want the water rights back. Well, shit, we need more tax money now and then because that's the only way we can get this agency back because we're no longer able to operate under the same guidelines as we were before because we didn't have enough money to do that anymore now. This is what y'all don't understand. This, everything we've got right now, normality, sense of normality right now is done. He's taking all that away. You think, oh, I saw some people like to say, good, they need to have been working a harder job. Some of these people get real complacent in those jobs. What do you think is going to happen when those people who work for the government can no longer pay to get a new roof put on? Because you're probably a roofer. Or you're probably a cement guy or something like that. Or you're probably a builder of some sort. Or you probably
do construction. What happens when they don't do the buildings no more?
Or what happens if there's nobody to pay for these things to have happen? These government jobs supply people with good money so they can pay for those kind of luxuries that you probably work for, or a plumber or something like that. You know what I mean? Let's be real here. We don't think about those things until it's too late. But multiple ICE impersonations arrests made during nationwide immigration crackdown. Authorities in at least 3 states have arrested individuals allegedly impersonating immigration and customs enforcement officers at the time when real ICE agents have ramped up immigration enforcement efforts under the Trump administration, adding to existing fears of law enforcement among migrant communities. In South Carolina, Sean Michael Johnson, 33, was charged with kidnapping and impersonating a police officer after allegedly detaining a group of Latino men along a Charleston County road. Johnson is accused of willfully and unlawfully presenting himself as an ICE agent and detaining a vehicle of individuals from moving, according to court records. The incident was recorded by one of the victims, took place on Sullivan's Island near Charleston on January 29th. You all got caught, Johnson is heard saying on video. Where you from? Mexico? You from Mexico? You're going back to Mexico. In the video, Johnson is seen taking the driver's keys, mocking the driver's accent while jiggling the car keys in his face. At one point, he is seen trying to take the driver's phone. The driver calls a friend speaking Spanish, says, I don't know, man. He's saying immigration. Now, don't be speaking that pig Latin in my effing country, Johnson says, knocking the phone out of his hand. I mean,
Johnson looks like a broke ass dude too. Like that was like my country. Like you don't own nothing.
The poorest among us, man. This is LBJ. Remember the comment that I made before? He making you guys feel like you're somebody. This is what it boils down to. You're a bunch of nobodies. You're giving you an opportunity to feel like you're somebody in a country when you're really a dinosaur. You're passing. It's over. Your time is done. Move on. That's what you really need to do but you'd rather destroy everything around us.
I already told you that. Why not? Exactly. Once a black man became president, you're like, that's not what the founding fathers wanted for us. So, some people would rather burn it down than give it back. That's what they're doing right now. They're changing the whole government and they're making everyone white males in power. So it'll never get back to where it was.
And they're trying to make it normalized that it should be white people in power. Again, they're trying to normalize that that's the normal. That's the way it's supposed to work. But like I told someone already, the two greatest periods of wealth in our history, growth of wealth in our history was during slavery, when blacks did the work, built the country. You know what I mean? That's one of the largest points. And the second point was after, you want to call it in more of inclusive policies after 1965 and on. You know what I mean? Period. When more women, men, and people of color were in the workforce, they had more ideas and more ingenuity in the American workforce. We've gained trillions since then. Let's be real.
It's
it
crazy.
Wasn't you guys.
I'm not a violent man. I try to keep my peace and be cordial with everybody. But somebody walks up to me like you was an American citizen, I'm gonna pistol whip them and say Oakland, bitch. I mean, dead ass. Like I'm not gonna play these games with you. Ain't punking me. This ain't the 70s. I am not. There's no peaceful marches around here. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated. And sir, I'm gonna show you what a savage do.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I ain't playing no games with you. I hope everybody I like to be cool and cordial with people. That's how I like to do it. I like to keep the peace. But you ain't gonna come to me sideways thinking you got some power over me, because I'm gonna show you what power is. I'm gonna show you one of the niggas you really scared of.
I think the thing of it right now with us is they understand that we gonna act out. They play with us right now. You got the Latins kind of a little bit nervous right now because they don't know.
They was in LA, bro. They was in LA. They took over the freeway on Sunday, blocked it off, Mexican flags and everything. But that makes it. No, that bothered me too. Though. That bothered me too, though. It's crazy though how like you don't want to get deported back to this country, but you waving the flag. Some guy said that. He was like, that's like me going. He was like a Mexican dude. He's like, that's me going to Africa, saying, hey, you can't kick me out of here, but I'm waving an American flag in Africa.
I think maybe they're telling them that we're Mexicans.
Then go back to Mexico.
No, but they're Mexican people. I'm a black person.
If you're a Mexican person, wave the American flag. This is where you want to be. You don't want to be in Mexico. Why are you waving your Mexican flag? That makes sense.
I think they're letting them know that we're standing up, man.
Yeah, because in reality, wave your American flag. Say, no, this is where we're from. This is where we're going to stay. We love America.
California, you go into parts of Utah, probably Nevada, Colorado, down into Phoenix, Texas, New Mexico. That was all Mexico.
It used to be. It's before. Not no more. Now it's America.
No, I understand. But now I think that they were trying to push that narrative. I get it because someone else is saying, why are they over here waving this flag? They're letting you know we're Mexicans. But we're Mexican Americans. They can be proud of being Mexican. If we knew where the hell we was from in Africa, we'd be proud of that too. Yeah. It's just like being a Jamaican and saying you're a Jamaican American. But I'm from Jamaica though. A Haitiano. I'm AT. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a problem because they know where they're from. The reason we say America so much, bro, if we knew we were from in Africa, we would talk about that too. Remember when blacks used to wear the African emblems all the time? The big African, you know what I'm talking about? I hope you remember that. You might be too young. I don't know. But we used to wear these African emblems around our neck.
57 years old like you. I'm just saying, damn.
We used to wear them African symbols around our neck because we were letting people know that we were proud to be black and we're black people from Africa.
Yeah, but this ain't the time to do it when you're trying not to get deported.
I think I would
have rounded up everybody with the Mexican flag. Like, here, you can go back there since you love it so much.
Ain't that crazy? That's how we think because they're really already talking about us right now too. They're really already talking about us right now. If you're trying to stop
immigration, you shouldn't be waving a foreign flag. You should be waving an American flag. We're Americans too. We love America and we're here to stay. You don't wait. You don't be like, hey, don't kick me back to Mexico.
But we are proud to be. We're Americans. We're proud to be of Mexican descent. We're proud of it. I am a Mexican descent. Every Mexican is not an immigrant, or every Mexican is not a legal person
then
here.
Why ain't trying to go back then? Why wave it? That still never made no sense to me. It's like, why are you waving a foreign flag in a different country? You can't go nowhere else and do that. I don't see nobody going to Europe waving the American flag like, I love to be in America, but I live in Paris. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I don't agree with. If you don't want to get deported back to Mexico, don't wave the Mexican flag and let people know you from Mexico. Wave the American flag.
They already gonna pull you over if you look Mexican. What are you talking about? They don't care if you Mexican or not. They're gonna pull us over because we look.
Man, I'm putting the American flag.
And what did they say about the lady who was eating the cat? She was Haitian. They didn't care. They were like, she Haitian. And she was a black lady from some other place, Toledo or somewhere.
Yeah,
come on, they don't care.
But she didn't have a Haitian flag.
They didn't care if she had a Haitian flag or not.
I'm just saying, bro,
she was
these
Haitian.
people was on the freeway waving these Mexican flags. I'm like, well, if Mexico's
so
great, go
Mexican.
back.
Letting you know that they're Mexican. I don't have
we don't know you.
waving their Mexican flag.
I don't need to know that you're Mexican. I need to know that you're a loyal American.
America ain't loyal. I mean, listen, I'm loyal to America, but if America ain't loyal to me, I'm letting you know where I'm from.
And me as a person, I love America. I just don't like the people that are in it.
Who doesn't? I love my country too, but I don't love what they're doing, and they're taking away our right to even be able to talk about this. Let's be real. They're taking away our right to even be able to say, protest, or say anything about it. Shut up. They're basically saying to us, be quiet or you're going to go back over here. So that's what we're doing now? We're basically having to be quiet and totally.
We got to be quiet. I'm just saying you should be waving American flags like, yo, we're here, we live here, we love it. You shouldn't be wearing. I'm not going around waving a fucking flag from South Africa
because you ain't from South Africa.
Exactly.
You're probably from Zimbabwe.
But these people are from Mexico, so why you support? Go back to Mexico then.
Hey, you know what? If I knew where I was from, originally my people came from hundreds of years ago, because you guys can't say nothing. My family's been here way longer than what your family's been here in this country. I'm saying we knew I would represent that as well too, but I don't. So I don't talk about it. Period. Yep. I know I'm an American.
Let's agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. We will see you next time.